Hello, hello, and welcome. It is Monday night. That's right. That means that Real Laughs is back in effect. It is Monday, October 12th. Can you believe it, people? We are almost to the end of the year. The voice you're hearing right now is me, Mr. James John. I'll be your host tonight. I am in here with a bunch of funny comedians in the virtual studio tonight. I got Mr. Mike Herlihy. What's up, Mr. Mike? How you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Good to see you guys again. And I hear Ken's been cooking up oxtail all day. I'm still waiting for my share of that. Haven't had any oxtail since I was ever.
Ever? Yeah, I hear you.
Like I get it. I get that it's oxtail, but is it just like that little 3 inches at the very tip? Like what part of the tail do you eat?
I don't know. I don't know what is this called oxtails. I don't know what part of the oxtail. Let me Google that, man.
There you go. We're gonna solve a mystery and bring the nation back together with oxtails. Yes, we are. Why are you doing that? That voice that you did hear just a second ago is the Godfather of Orlando comedy, Mr. Ken Miller. He's looking up the importance of oxtails.
Yeah, man. Also, shout out to Bath and Body Works, baby, for that good lotion that I be using. I smell good, baby.
I know you don't. It's all on your hand. Anyway,
it's from the tail of cattle. That's all it says. So it's the tail part.
It's the ass. It's straight from the ass to the part with the muscle that you can move it around.
So
that's what
the tutor.
It's from cattle. Does that mean it's not even from an ox? It's from like a beef cow or something like that?
It's from a cow. Yeah. It just oxtail is the tail of a cow. In the olden days, it came from the tail of an ox, but now it comes from the tail of a cow or either sex.
Man, false advertising.
Yeah. It's cow tails, yo.
I want some cow tail. Yeah,
Who thought that? Who thought? Man, let me cut this tail off and cook this mug.
The other voice that you are hearing is 2016 Monster Comedian of the Year, my good friend, my partner in crime, Mr. Miguel Colon Jr., fresh from the Sausage Castle, baby. What's going on?
I'm gonna answer your question, Ken. Before refrigerators, when they killed a cow, everybody got in line depending on where you were in society is what meat you got. So there was some cat at the end just holding his plate like, I hope the tail's still there, yo.
Yo,
I'm gonna give you that tail and tongue, dog.
But it's crazy though. It's one of the most expensive meats to buy. Oxtails is expensive. Yeah. Like I go to this soul food spot in Pine Hills, and she's like, "Man, I ain't got no oxtail this week. It was $90 for 15 pounds." I was like, "Damn."
Yeah, that's a lot.
Because each cow only got one tail.
Yeah, it's man. True.
This whole conversation reminds me. You guys ever see Funny Farm with Chevy Chase?
Yeah. Absolutely.
The movie. Remember when he's in there now? Do you remember the food he was eating? I think
Rocky Mountain oysters, right?
Yeah. Also called prairie oysters and sweetbread. Ken, have you heard of these?
I've heard of sweetbread, yes.
Do you know what they are?
I don't know what Rocky Mountain oysters are.
Yes, you do.
Or lamb fries. You guys want to tell them?
How about pig balls?
Sheep, I mean, that sounds like sheep balls.
Testicles.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever had testicles in any way, shape, form?
I don't get down. I don't get down. I mean, that crazy, man.
I was locked up once. I mean, what?
Yeah. I don't get down like that. Once and I said, "Wait a second."
If you gotta disguise the name of what you're eating with something cute, like Rocky Mountain oysters, don't eat it. Don't eat it.
Yeah. It's not gonna be good. Yeah, well, good Lord.
This how I try oxtails, man. This was like 6 or 7 years ago. The lady who owns the restaurant now had a spot in Pine Hills, and I never had oxtails before. No. And the oxtail were called "Slap Your Mama" oxtails. And you know, in the hood, Mike, in the hood, if it's something good, you slap your mama.
Yeah,
like on Friday too, when he ate the ribs.
Because in the suburbs, that is very disrespectful.
Yeah, so that means
if something's bad, it's called "Find Your Daddy."
Yeah, right. Wow. Yo, James, what's the other one? Yo, you put your foot in this. That's another one.
You put your foot in this? Like you stepped in it?
Yeah. So I tried the oxtails and I was scared. So I was going to bite. I said, yo, this tastes like beef stew.
Yeah,
it tastes like beef stew, like legit like beef stew, bro.
It's just a really tender part of the cow. You cook it all day until it gets really, really tender. It's tender beef.
What about those jars I've seen like in those
pig feet,
terrible blaxploitation movies? Yeah, the pickled
pig feet.
You ever had those?
Oh hell yeah!
Those are real, bro.
Man, son.
My mom makes pig feet. Well, she used to a lot. Yeah, as they get older, they just go to make like 4 or 5. But she used to, when we were kids, she would make pig's feet for her
Actually,
stuff.
it's the pig's mom that makes the pig's feet. You guys just
Fair
eat 'em.
enough. Or Jesus, depending on where you live in America.
It's like,
What do
we
pig's
got a
feet taste
saying
like?
in
I
the
never ate
hood.
pig's feet though.
We got a saying in the hood. We'll eat a pig's ass. You cook it right. We
Bruh,
love
for
ribs.
real. I eat an oink sandwich, bro.
I mean, here's the
Yeah.
deal: you could fry up any part of a pig, and it's gonna be fried pork.
Amen.
But
So
like,
Amen.
yeah.
the pickled pig's feet, do you eat those right out of the jar? Or do you cook
Yeah,
those?
yeah.
'Cause
You
they're
take them
usually in a
out, take them out of the jar, just eat them.
They're
It's
cooked already.
It's like a pickle. It's like a deal. It's like a cucumber that's been sitting in the vinegar all day. That's all a pick.
Mm.
They got pickled pig feet, pickled egg, pickled sausage.
they've cow tongues, right?
No, I won't do that. I won't do the
I
cow
won't do-
tongue.
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah,
won't do
that's
tongue.
crazy. That's crazy.
I want you to not on the
This
first
guy-
date.
That's
Nah.
Yeah, you gonna eat a
I do the
pig's
feet.
toenails.
I do the feet, but I ain't
I don't
doing
want to
no
eat
tongue.
nothing that can taste me back. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had cow's tongue. I've had like grilled cow's tongue and like they do it like a carpaccio and stuff. It's fine.
Mm.
I would rather eat a cow's tongue than pig's feet. I've never had pig's feet though. But I mean, I guess
Tastes
if you
like-
fried them. If you fried them up,
Yeah.
I'd eat some pig's feet.
I don't eat it now, but as a kid, when you
Yeah.
live in where we
Yeah.
live, it's
The
just
country.
that's what was there. You go to this corner store and you get a pig's feet, a pickle, a chill wine, some chips, and a
Yo,
ramen noodle.
yo,
all for
Deviled
$1.
eggs.
Y'all
They
died
got
of
the
sodium
eggs and the-
exposure
Yeah.
at 22.
Yeah.
You
We
know?
did. Yo, Ken, speaking of that, growing up the way we did, like it's weird because my kids didn't grow up any way that I did back in the day, like in the hood or anything like that. So they've never had certain things. Like my kids never had a Chico stick. Ever.
Woo! Thicker than a
What's
Chico
a
stick,
Chico?
bro.
They look like a
A
carrot.
Chico
They look like a carrot.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike. It's like
It's like
I
a
think it
peanut
got peanut
buttery
butter and
caramel.
Peanut butter,
with
coconut.
it got kind of
Yeah.
like a Butterfinger.
Yes.
Imagine the Butterfinger middle
With no
like
chocolate.
peanut butter, no chocolate though.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
part
it's called a
when you're
Chico
chewing
stick.
it and you're just like, all right, I gotta go all in now.
Are they
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
are they
Oh,
like
man.
homemade or like there's
No.
a
No, you buy
company
them in
that
the
makes
store.
these?
There's
Yeah,
two
you
major kind. There's this little one and then the big one.
Big
That's
big
long
boy.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
there's
big
one that
boy,
looks
yeah.
like a full cigar and one that looks like
Here's-
you're trying to blunt your ashtray.
Here's how I know my kids grew up in a good neighborhood, and they grew up with more money than we had. I had a pack of candy, and I'm like, oh, I can't really mess with this. I'm diabetic. You guys want these? And I held up a giant pack of lemon heads, and my kid says, "What's that?"
Yo, they
I was like,
man,
I was like,
lemonade, cherry
what?
clan, Boston baked bean,
Baked
red
beans?
hot.
Yeah,
Now
Man.
later, they never had that.
candy's in the
Now
box.
see, that's the
the
difference.
little
My kids
boxes.
eat all that. Yeah, little box. My kids eat all that junk. My kids eat all because we go to because they sell them at Walgreens for $1 now. So my kids eat all that junk. Oh yeah,
Well, I've
yeah.
decided. You know what my trick or treaters again this year? Chico sticks and pig's feet. That's all I'm dropping. That's all I'm dropping in their bag. You can grab out of the jar, or you can.
You're gonna have
What you want.
36-year-old grown black men with careers.
Yo, knocking on the
Standing
door
out
like,
there.
yo, bro, I heard you got Chico sticks, bro.
I'm a pilot for United, but still, I heard you had 3 Chico
Hey,
sticks
Mike.
and
Hey,
pig's feet.
Hey, Mike. Oh, know
Yeah.
this too. If you handing out them Chico sticks, don't let them look in your house though. Don't
Yeah.
They casing. Just be like, hey, here go your candy, because they be like, yeah, like, man, this nice, yo.
What you got to do, Mike, is you got to have one of your kids tied up in a chair, blindfolded, and be like, "Man, I just robbed this place. I'm just giving out the candy." They're like, "Oh, okay, it's
Oh,
been
okay.
pre-robbed, everybody. It's already
Good,
robbed."
good.
You know what I do?
Pookie, get out. Nah, they already done got this one.
Yeah.
Every Halloween, I take the kids trick or treating. We usually hit up like Crane's Roost Park or something like that. It's a nice little walk and everything. I don't know if they're going to do it this year, the way things are. But what I always do is I leave an empty pot on a stool outside with a little sign that says, "Please take only one and leave something for the next trick or treaters."
Wow.
But I don't put any candy in it to start with. I put
Good.
one like wrapper. So that when people show up, they figure they just got there after all the candy was
He's
taken.
a
It's the
good
way you
man,
save
but
money.
he was taken advantage of.
Bad job. I like your style, Mike.
You know what's funny?
Crane's Roost.
What?
You take them babies to Crane's Roost was the worst trick or treating experience my kids ever had. I feel
Are you
bad for them.
serious?
Dude, it was first of all, it was packed, and this was
Mhm.
Junior was Jazu was like 5, Junior was like 8 or 10, and I had 2 other kids who were my god kids, and we got to like 7 tables. They had like pencils and erasers and little the cherry chan candy, you know, that little grape
Yeah.
candy got the
Yeah.
Chinese guy on it,
Yeah.
and I was like, this is. You know what I'm talking about. In the hood, it got the Chinese style. It's racist.
They got the orange and black wrapped in wax paper.
Yeah. I felt bad. I felt
Candy
so
for the black man.
I was like, oh, you know what, the candy.
Yeah.
So I felt bad. So I end up taking my kids to Walgreens, and I end up buying a bunch of candy and filling their bags. It was so packed.
Last
we
year,
just couldn't get through it.
Last year, I took him to Kevin White's neighborhood in Davenport because he lives in a really nice little community. I might take him the way you talk about your town. I might take him up to your house this year, okay?
Oh no, I don't give out candy.
Just
no. I might just park at your house, but walk around your.
Okay, you do that.
Why don't you give out candy, Ken?
I don't believe in Halloween.
The rule.
Really?
The rule.
I'm not allowed to. Yeah.
Oh man.
She don't believe in fun? I like that.
I like that. Hey, the rule.
No, hang on. Let me mark this. 1917. Save Ken from having me to edit it later.
I like LaShawn. LaShawn put the FU back in fun.
And then she added a CK. MFer. No. No, the rule with Halloween candy, it's the opposite rule of tacos. Like when you want the best Halloween candy, you got to go to the nicest neighborhood. When you want the best tacos, you got to find the worst spot.
Worst neighborhood.
Yeah,
true. Golly.
Some of those neighborhoods in Windermere, I would love to take my kids trick-or-treating around there. They're just dropping Rolexes in and everything else. It looks nice.
You get a small business loan. You're like, what you get? I got 3 stimulus checks, and it looks like a Maserati. But he hated the color.
Look, all the kids are dressed like Republicans. I'm like, really? Everybody wore the same costume this year?
Yeah.
This is what I wear to school. What are you talking about?
Another Mike Pence? How many Mike Pences? Everybody's got a little fly on their wig.
I want to go to Shaq's house and just open my bag and sit 3 feet away and be like, just throw it in.
Yeah,
just he's gonna make it. He's gonna make it.
Shaq's just dropping in Papa John's pizzas. He's
like,
there you go.
Hey,
nobody just me.
You get a pizza. You
get
a
little
pizza.
Fly on the head.
That's gonna be the costume this year, man.
On the head, bro.
Costume.
Oh my God, son.
You kids get a pizza. You get a pizza.
James, where we at on time, bro?
2 more minutes, baby.
Like we've been going.
No, we've been having a good talk, man. I missed you guys. We've been gone for a few weeks here, man. So it's good to be back on with everybody. When we come back, though, we got a little bit of time. I want to talk to you guys about some nerd stuff, if you will, some nerd stuff. I'm nerd alert.
Shut him in a locker.
Ask you guys a political question, but it's an interesting one. I want to know when does a movement go too far? You know what I mean? I want to discuss that because go ahead. What were you going to say, Miguel?
When they require me to show up twice. Like another march? Haven't we made our point? This is why they hate us.
And when we get back, guys, we're going to be talking a little bit about Columbus Day. We're going to be talking about what it's now known as and what does it mean to you. So nobody go anywhere. Y'all stick right there at Real Last. We're going to be right back. All right, everybody, welcome back. You're still listening to Real Labs on 104.1 Real Radio. Want to remind everybody out there listening, want to say thank you, but you can also catch up on all our past episodes if you go to the iHeart app. You can always follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and now you can actually watch all the hilarity if you go to YouTube. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm joined in the virtual studio, as always, with Miguel Colon Jr., Mike Hurley, and the Godfather of Orlando comedy, Mr. Ken Miller. Now, Ken, I don't know if everybody knows why we call you the Godfather of Orlando comedy, because you helped a lot of up-and-coming young guys who had dreams and aspirations of being a comedian. You've crushed a lot of their dreams and they quit, but you've also helped a lot of people who actually stuck in there and wanted to do this, and you've gotten people to, do great things. Like Mr. Preacher Lawson was definitely one of the guys you helped. You helped Akeem Woods. You helped him come out of the closet.
Writing for BET.
Writing for BET, man. He's doing very well
right now. Yeah, he's doing really good, man. Like,
that's amazing.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, when he got that show, and it paid real good.
Does it really?
It paid real good.
He owe me and you some money, so
yeah, it paid real good.
All right.
But
no, shout out to both those guys, Akeem and Mr. Preacher. Shout out to Preacher, who just had the debut of his television show, and I saw that the Chicago Tribune gave the whole show some really good reviews. So shout out to both those guys. Congratulations. Keep doing well.
The South Chicago Tribune gave it 6 unsolved homicides.
Yo, yo, we give it 6 out of 10 unsolved homicides, bro. And it's like chalk outlines,
Yeah,
thick
yeah.
chalk out.
Yo,
The
this is the
Detroit Press
show.
gave it 0.5 kilo and 7 bullets. Like, yo.
Yo, oh my goodness,
The
son.
Alabama Times said he's one of the good ones. You know?
Damn, I love this show.
Oh man.
I'd be remiss if I didn't remind you guys that today is a special day. It is, the 12th, and it's also Columbus Day, also slash Indigenous People Day. That's right.
How you
Now,
50-50 that one? I don't know how you feel about this one. So it's either Robert E. Lee's birthday or
or Martin
the
Luther King Day.
celebration of Martin Luther King. Yeah, I kind of
So
want to
let me
cover all bets
let
here.
let's
It's
get into this
Limp
a little
Bizkit
bit.
/ Eminem Day. How about
That's right.
that? You know?
Now, here's why Miguel is saying that for everybody who does not know. When we were growing up, Columbus Day, we were always taught what 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue, and he discovered America. He discovered that there were brown people here, and he thought that's rude. So he decided we're going to take it over for them because they don't know how to run a country. They don't even have democracy or God, so they're savages. So someone decided along the way that Columbus wasn't the hero that we thought of him. Now, there's a debate in America that if we go destroying all the things in the past because they were bad, we're going to forget our history. And I say to that as a black person, we ain't ever going to forget slavery. So that's not true. But I wanted to ask you guys, do you really believe that? Like, if we go back and change everything that was not considered right in today's, civilized world, are we going too far if we do things like changing
May
Columbus Day?
I?
Ooh, okay, go ahead. Hit me with it, Miguel, because you seem ready. All right.
The flaw in that logic that people have is we're just gonna retcon things. No, we're
Okay.
gonna say, hey, we used to think this and then we found out this. That's what we do with everything else. With everything else, we're like, oh yeah, we used to think the sun revolved around the earth, and then we discovered that the earth revolved around the sun. We always start with the we used to, and then to try to explain all of history. So if you want to get like the nickel tour, sure, you're never going to get the truth because you're just going to say in 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue, he ran
Blue.
across some brown people, and now we have Starbucks. You know, like that is,
You
but
skipped everything.
yeah, but if you want to go real, you can say, "Hey, man, here's Christopher Columbus. Here's what he did. Here's what he did that actually was really impressive. Here's what he did that was pretty messed up." But
Yeah.
that's all of historical figures, and we're grown-ups. We're grown-ups. We can understand
Yeah.
that. We can understand that about our own grandparents. We can
Yes.
understand that, hey,
Yes.
our grandparents said some really messed up stuff that we would never believe now. I love them. I thank them for what they did, but I can't pass those values on to my kids. I will take from them the values that I think were impressive and important. And at the end of the day, I'm going to love my grandparents more than you will because they're my family. And you might think they're horrible because of some
Yeah.
of the things they did. And that's life.
And you bring up a great point, man, because back in the day, two great points. Back in the day, people thought that the earth was flat. And then we figured out that it was round. And then some of us decided, no, it's really flat. We're going to start teaching that again. But you
Hmm.
also bring up a point that it's a different time. We do
A
all
different
have,
time, bro.
it's a
Yeah.
different time.
Different
We
time.
all have relatives, even black people. I'm going to be the first to admit it. If you got an old enough grandparent or old uncle in your life, and I'm sure you do, Ken, we got some racist ass relatives, some older ones, man, who just grew up a little different than we did, man. So we all have those kind of people, and
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
you're
yeah.
absolutely right.
Yeah, things change. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna use two examples of how it's okay to change history for making things better.
Okay.
Let's take COVID for example.
Yeah.
People are like, "Well, it's called the Chinese flu," and everybody's, "Oh, that's so insensitive." Well, we've had the Spanish flu. You know what I mean? I said, "Yeah," but back then it was okay to call it the Spanish flu. It's not okay to call it the Spanish flu now.
Yeah.
It should be
Yeah.
called that whatever the flu.
Yeah.
It shouldn't
Hmm.
be called the Chinese flu. It should be called COVID.
Yeah.
It's like black folk. We were colored. We were Negro. We were Afro American. We were
Yeah.
African
African
American.
American.
Now we're like, hey man, can the brother just be black?
Yeah.
Can we just can we? It's okay. Now back in the day, it was okay to put it. You can go read newspaper articles that said colored
Yeah.
Negro. But you can't put that now. You can't put that in the newspaper now. Negro comedian wins Steve Harvey stand up. You can't do that now. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
But I'd like to see him.
I should
Go ahead.
change my blog post then. I was not aware.
That's
I was
actually
very
my-
proud of
that's
you.
my-
It was written from a good place.
So it's
yeah, that's
okay.
my
It's
Wi-Fi
okay to
name. I was
change that.
celebrating you.
Your son, Negro comedian.
I was celebrating you.
Yo,
So it's understandable that something that was bad in the past that we now are growing away from it. It's all right.
See,
we
I'm
grow
from
as a
the
people.
other school. I'm gonna pull that. You know, I'm over 40 now. I need to wear glasses now, and I'm gonna pull that. Can't teach an old dog new tricks. I learned it once. I'm not learning anything again. Okay.
That's it.
Columbus
That's it.
sailed the ocean blue. I failed the test for not knowing that damn poem. So if I had to take the F back then, you can't just all of a sudden go, oh, that didn't matter, because that's what I was saying back then. Pluto's still a planet. You can't take that from me. All
Yeah,
right.
you never
Gotcha.
taking that
And
from me either.
my kids, I'm helping them with their math homework now. And he's
New
like,
math.
hey, can you show me 13 times 3? I do the 13 times 3. He's like, no, we got to do it like this. No, we do it like this, or I don't do it at all. I'm done. I'm done. This is the way you want me to learn it. This is the way I know it. I don't have enough time left on my life to relearn everything I've learned in my life. Okay.
Gotcha.
So
they're still,
progressive.
so they're still colored. I get it, Mike. I understand.
What's that?
All that I say all this to say this. They're coloreds.
No, James, you're not listening to me. You can call yourself whatever you want as long as you do it 2 neighborhoods over. That's all. That's all.
But what if I want to trick or treat in your neighborhood?
Well, I already told you I got pig's feet and
I got big
bars.
feet and nowalators and Chico sticks.
That's how I
If
lure you
you got
over.
now,
for that.
ladies, I'm coming over.
That's
true.
That's how I lure you guys in for my get out parties. I'd leave a trail right up to my door.
There's a
Hey.
part when you're eating nowalators where you just bite down. You're like, I'm gonna break my jaw.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
my
And I'm
jaw
at that
falls
age,
apart.
Miguel, where I'm like, ooh, this is 50-50. If I come out
I'm
of
at
this,
the
all right.
age where I know which side of my mouth to eat what.
There
I'm
you
like,
go.
Son,
I ain't going to doctor for that.
remember the sugar daddy?
Yeah,
Oh.
them
Yeah.
Bro, the
motherfuckers,
caramel, bro. I'm eating the sugar daddy. I'm like, yo, why is this hard? Pull the whole filling out, bro. The
Oh,
whole
bro.
filling out, bro.
Oh.
And
I'm
gonna tell you
I
this,
just
man.
kept eating it, dude.
I used to open Heinekens with my teeth. I would just.
Oh,
Now I had a nightmare about that, like 3 weeks ago or so, that I opened a beer with my tooth and it just cracked all my teeth.
Oh,
But I mean, I haven't done that in years. But when I was like 21, 22 years old,
you didn't care.
you give me a
You
Heineken.
didn't care.
Now,
I forget.
Damn.
I forget what comedian does it, but he's like dental plan. You know my dental plan? I chew on the other side. That's my
Yeah.
plan.
Yeah. True.
I
that
remember
sounds like a
straight
Pat
up-
Garrity joke, bro.
That
Hey,
sounds
I
like a Pat Garrity joke.
I was at some bar downtown and Aries Spears was there. This was like 15 years ago, you know?
Mm.
And Aries Spears was there. And I remember we were all in the back and the guy brought us all these beers. And I took a Heineken bottle. I opened it with my back teeth. And I always remember Aries said, one day you ain't never gonna do that again. And I was like, what's this guy talking about? And now I'm like, man, my teeth. I have a fear of losing my teeth. Like it's a nightmare that I have sometimes and stuff.
Mm.
I don't want to, cause man, I don't want to be the dude that can't chew on the back and can't,
Yep.
just eating the steak all slow on one side, man.
Yeah, man. I got 3 of my relatives when I went home, got like 1 or 2 front teeth, and I'm just like,
Damn.
it won't be me.
That's
seen-
Nah.
It
I've
won't be.
seen
I
your-
go broke.
I've seen
Yeah.
your family
I'll
photos
get a
when you
grill.
go home, Ken. They're like, "Oh, look at Fancy Boy with all his molars."
What you doing with all them teeth, boy?
Dude, all them
And
teeth
that's-
is just Ken
From Green Barrel, South
from Collard Green, from
Collard Green, North Carolina.
Bro, I would
Mhm.
slap the hell out of Chris
Oh.
Alexander, bro. That's
Did he really mess up your intro? That
son?
part?
So the whole weekend with Tommy Davidson.
Explain this for everybody, Ken.
So if you guys listening, your host, you give him an intro, and then the host will say, so my intro is, hey, when a Florida's funny is one Steve Harvey, him a real laughs from Greensboro, North Carolina.
Done.
It's simple. It's super simple. Or you can just be like from Greensboro, North Carolina. I was cool with that too.
Yeah.
So Chris all weekend for Tommy Davidson. He from North South Carolina. He won the Steve Funniest. Like,
North South.
and I'm like, Chris, we're friends.
He owns a wheelbarrow in North Carolina.
Yeah, right. So
This brother
We're
loves
at-
moxtail.
bro, and he loves some oxtail. So we're doing bonkers. We're doing the bonkers show, and he's on stage, and I know he's about to mess up. This is how I knew he was about to mess up. You guys ready for your headliner? And I was like, all right. First of all, he went short, so I was like, okay. I knew he was gonna mess up. He started with this. He's such a good friend of mine. Like he's like my big bruh, and I'm like, okay, he's trying to remember the intro.
Yeah.
He's trying that he's doing. He on some BS, and he was Florida's funny. Steve Harvey's funniest, and he's from Greens. North. He's from North. Ken Miller, y'all. And I just walked out. I said, bruh, how?
Wow.
I said, dude, you just. I said,
All
man.
weekend.
I said, bruh, don't even worry about it, man. And then I was like, you got 10 more minutes. And he was like, oh, God. I said, no, dude, I take care of it. And I had some brand new, I wrote some new stuff about my mom's funeral, about my daughter coming out and about COVID. So I opened up with like 15 new minutes. I wanted to work that. And then I went into my material. So by the time I got done, I was at 1:05. So I ended up eating his time anyway. And it was Deltona. That room is fire.
I love that. The Performing Arts
That
Center?
room is fire, bro.
Did you tell him he owes you $20 when he gets that bonkers paycheck?
Now, Ken, I'm sorry, I want to interrupt, but I just found it interesting because we in the same kind of situation, being two family dudes. I didn't know your daughter came out as I didn't know you talked about her coming out now as a joke.
I just started.
Does she know you do it?
No, I told her the joke. She was dead. She was dying.
Okay, nice. Okay,
so
nice.
I told her the joke. She was done, yo. She was like, Dad, that is so funny. Even though I don't do that.
Okay,
I don't care. I'll tell y'all. So the joke is, so I talk about my daughter coming out, and I say, hey, my daughter's funny, and she came out to me in a funny way. We were riding in the car. She says, Daddy. I said, what? She said, guess what? I said, what? She says, me and you like to eat the same thing. And I was like,
he said, oxtail?
I said, you like pizza? She says, no, Daddy. And then she say the P word. And I'm like, whoa. But then I don't get mad if she gay. I'm mad because you cussed at me. You can't cuss at me. You can't eat the P word for 30 days. Son, she was dying laughing, bro. She says, Dad, that's so funny, but I don't do that. I'm like, you will.
She said that?
Yeah.
You will.
Yeah. Listen, girl, I grew up with hip hop in the 90s too. I didn't do it either. And then one day it became my opener,
Oh, yeah, we just lost 2 sponsors, by the way.
I know we did. Hey,
we don't got 2 sponsors.
We gained 6 more.
6. There you go. Birkenstocks is all in. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back on Real Laughs on Real Radio 104.1. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you guys for still hanging in here with us on Real Laughs on 104.1 Real Radio. We're having a great time. Just want to remind everybody that please go check out our past episodes on the iHeart app under Real Laughs. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and now you can do it on YouTube. Please go comment, like, and subscribe. I'm James John, your host for today, and I'm joined in the studio as always with Mr. Ken Miller, Miguel Colon Jr., and Mike Herlihy. Now, before we do anything else, I know it's been a couple of weeks, but I still found it to be one of the most comical debates I'd ever seen in my life. People were disappointed, not me. I was entertained. And of course, I'm talking about the presidential debate and the vice presidential debate as well. First, let's start with Mr. Trump and Mr. Biden. Y'all, that had to be the funniest thing I've ever seen. I thought it was the get off my lawn debate. Two old white men that both said the N-word numerous times.
At the end of the debate, the only thing they agreed on was these kids need to stop playing that damn music song.
Just Biden says it with a soft R, not a hard one. But anyway, did you guys watch the foolishness that went on in that debate at all?
Yeah.
Did you, Mike? Look at Mike's face. Yeah. You learned nothing, right? It wasn't anything new. It was just let me both spew out what I want, and we're not going to let the other person talk, right? For about a good hour.
I felt it was more one way than that when it came to that. I feel like there was definitely one person interrupting more than the other. And I felt like one person actually could form coherent sentences and had some things to say, was able to intelligently answer a question. I feel one person's way of dealing with things was to talk over and just insult. But, the one thing I've learned from watching both these debates is they don't change anyone's minds. As soon as these debates are over, you go on social media, and for every one person you say, oh, Pence crushed that one, there's Kamala Harris crushed that one. People see what they want to see, and they remember what they want to remember. It's not changing anything.
You're right. I watched the day after the debates. I watched Fox News, then I watched MSNBC, and you're absolutely right. It was funny on Fox because they went down the road and they said, well, how do you think President did? He's like, look, his voice is so commanding. The way that he wouldn't let Biden lie, and he kept interrupting him was great. The next person's like, yes, I love the way that the president just didn't let him lie and kept interrupting. And I'm like, did we just go down the line and they basically said he is the best interrupter in history? Like, when it comes to interrupting, this guy should get a medal. Like then you go to MSNBC, they're like appalled. Like I can't believe the disrespect that he had for this presidency. I don't know if he can ever
I feel
win.
so
now,
bad because for
crazy.
like during the presidential debate, there was a fact checker who had told his girlfriend, "Hey, I'll be home in time for dinner," and now he's just like calling up. He's like, "Sweetie, I didn't even make it past the opening statement.
Mike,
we'll do an early breakfast."
Let me correct that. There was a fact checker who told the rest of his guild he'd be in time for the Warcraft match this evening, and then he was like, "Guys, you're gonna have to mine ore without me. I'm still still answering these questions."
I didn't watch either one.
Okay,
no?
but there was some. Go ahead.
I'm not watching. Nothing's gonna change my mind. You know what I mean? Like watching it isn't gonna change my mind. Like my wife is really into it. She's really into it. But for me, I'm like, I know who I'm voting for, so I'm not about to waste my time. And it was a game on. Man, I was outside drinking with my brothers, man, smoking a cigar.
Oh, it was funny because Kermit actually reminded me of the presidential debate. I had forgotten about it. He's like, "You gonna watch the two old guys fight tonight?" I'm like, "Dude, I thought the Tyson's fight was like months away."
Yes.
Yo, you got pay-per-view? Let me get in on that.
Okay, here's a point in the debate I thought people would make a big deal out of, but it really hasn't made the impact I thought it would. When Chris Wallace, the moderator, said, "Hey, Mr. President, will you denounce white supremacy?" And he said, "Proud Boys, stand back, but stand by." Why was that not the craziest thing anybody had ever heard in their life?
It was all over the news the next day.
That was crazy.
Was that not nutty?
Yeah. What made it even crazier was 2 days later when Trump was saying he had no idea who the Proud Boys were. And it's like, well, then why did you make a point of telling? And if you don't think that there's no acceptance of that, within 5 minutes,
they had it
up.
up.
Proud Boys Instagram, they already had T-shirts that said, "Standing back and standing by, Mr. President." It's like, whether you endorse these people, just know these people have accepted you as their Lord and Savior.
Have you accepted Trump into your life as your personal savior? Thank God.
When I got that first stimulus check, I was like, all right. He all right.
Well, even with the stimulus check,
I still like, man, I can't stand that mother.
Yeah.
What was it? First of all, he got COVID. Then he said within 2 days he was over COVID, which nobody's over COVID in 2 days. All right.
That's my spring break line.
And then he went on like 187 Twitter rant while he was on all these experimental drugs. And then one day he's like, "You know what? I'm done. We're not doing stimulus checks talk until after I get elected." And I'm like, "Are we doing quid pro quo right now? Like elect you or we don't get a check? Is that what we're doing?" And then 2 days later, they're like, "Oh no. Believe it or not, the American people didn't like you saying you weren't giving them money." So he's like, "You know what? I'm going to get another check out." The guy is just huge flip-flopping. They're flailing in the wind. I don't know, man. I wouldn't trust anything that comes out of that guy's mouth.
Here's the crazy part, Mike. I agree with everything you're saying. It doesn't matter to the people who follow him.
Not at all.
It does not matter one bit. If he lies,
if he covers Wyclef, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't, bro.
The biggest part for me is whenever they say, "What I like about Trump is he speaks the truth and he speaks his mind." Then he says something like inject bleach and they're like, "Oh, he was kidding." Well, which one is it? He either speaks the truth and he's honest all the time, or you're always backpedaling saying, why do I need an interpreter for someone who's speaking English? Because every time he says something, I take it one way and they're like, no, you misunderstood. I'm like, this is my first and only language. I know what he said.
I'm a professional stand-up comedian. I get sarcasm. Yeah. That's not it.
I don't want it from my president when serious shit like 200,000 people are dying. I
want to get Mekhi Phifer from 8 Mile to moderate the next ones because he was able to control the whole free world and be Rabbit.
Everybody chill. Everybody chill out.
Everybody chill. Buddy Rabbit, let's see what you got.
During COVID, he just kind of said, he's like, "Yeah, well, we're going to lose some people. We would have lost millions more if it wasn't for my fast acting. We've only lost 200,000 people die. It is what it is." And then his campaign was so upset that people were on Twitter, when he got COVID, saying with no sympathy. And people are like, "Hey, it is what it is."
I would have been like, "You guys all complaining. We don't got jobs. We just lost 220,000 people, and now you're complaining. Guess what? Those are jobs."
Oh my
Okay?
God.
Those are
Also,
jokes.
my-
Okay?
Also, for the first time in forever, you can pretty much walk in, get any apartment you want in New York City. It's never been like that.
yeah,
I did that for you.
I did a lot.
I did
And
that.
you guys are giving me this. And Joe Biden would have been like, listen, where are we? Real quick, first of all. Where are we? I need to know what my argument is here.
Okay.
Y'all
Now-
own one today, bro.
We are switching gears, though. I did enjoy the vice president debate. I enjoyed them two going at it. It was more civil. They actually let each other talk, but I did like the black mama moments that Kamala had. And what I mean by black mama moments is, Kim, growing up, your mom could give you a look, and you would
that
hush.
look.
Yeah,
Give you
no,
that
you
look,
wouldn't
like-
hush. You would hirsch. Remember that?
Give
You
you
knew
that.
to be quiet. And she looked at him and said, "Look, I'm talking."
Bruh,
And
you
she
mess
put the
around being
finger up. Yeah.
bruh, you mess around being in the store being loud. Man, I rip my whole tongue out. I'm like, I don't even need that. I don't even need that, yo.
Yo,
I felt like there were so many times during the vice presidential debate that Mike Pence wanted to be like, hey, real talk, y'all think I want this? Huh? Y'all think I want this? You think this is what I wanted?
Yo,
Man, this ain't nothing what I wanted.
Well,
Get out of here, you psycho! Get out
to
of
be real
here!
with you, I didn't watch that either. I watched clips of it, but I had
It was
never
good.
heard him talk before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I swear I've never heard him talk for an extended period of time. I thought he was mute.
I couldn't even
The whole
see the
time.
hand. I couldn't even see Trump's hand up his ass, making him.
Yeah.
Come on, puppet. Oh my
Who
God.
was it? Pete Buttigieg actually played Mike Pence. So Kamala Harris during the, they get together and they do like a
prep.
stage.
Because Chris
they
Christie
prep
was
it.
doing it with Donald Trump. Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things Pete Buttigieg brought up, he's like, let me tell you about the Republican Party. Mike Pence, in his preparations for tonight's debate, couldn't even find a black female Republican to play Kamala Harris. and
Wow.
the people who were like interviewing him are like, is that important? Does that matter? And Pete Buttigieg was like, yes. And I was like, I don't even buy into that part, man.
No, me either. Me either.
I'm
Go ahead,
raising my
Ken.
hand.
Yeah, okay.
Is it Kamala?
Kamala.
It's Kamala, right?
It's Kamala.
Yeah, you keep saying Kamala.
It's
me?
Yeah,
You, man.
it's Kamala.
Kamala?
No, it's not Kamala.
It's
It's Kamala.
Yeah,
Kamala.
you keep saying Kamala like the wrestler.
I just keep saying, I just tell you
Coming to
truth,
the stage in Armani heels. It's
when I text her, I just put Bay because I'm in love with her.
okay. I'm glad you brought.
I read
I'm-
that.
I'm glad you brought that up. Reason I'm glad you brought that up, Mike, is one of our comedic friends. I will not say his name on the radio. Sloan from Tampa. He had said when the debate was on, he made a comment just being funny. He said, "Yo, Kamala can get it." And women lost their proverbial minds. Like, how dare you sexually objectify this beautiful, articulate, fine as mixed woman? And go, she looked good. Okay, can we just say that? Nobody get mad at us. Yeah.
Yo, real
She ain't
talk.
no
Mike,
Condoleezza Rice, but she'll do.
you crazy, bro. She
What up,
way
Ken?
finer than
What up,
Condi. You
Ken?
know I love me
Yo.
some Condi, but she,
Yeah.
yo, Kamala's a cutie pie, man.
Yeah, bro, for real, for real.
Yeah, when
Shout out to
we had
shout out to my baby. I'm just saying, she's a good looking politician, man. I'm just
James,
saying.
you ain't even
man.
gonna be allowed to vote now. But Michelle
I'm
gonna be
like
like, where you going with that registration card?
Yo.
Go see that bitch?
Yo.
I'm like a felon. I can't vote now. Like I
Yeah.
took my rights taken away. Yo, that's hilarious.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I'd hold her purse all day long.
Yeah, man. I would definitely press my agenda on her. You know?
Oh my God, yo, but Sloan was just being funny. Yo, shout out to Sloan, hilarious, man.
Yeah, man, come on, baby.
Yeah.
It's a joke. Relax,
It is a
y'all.
joke.
Be like,
Yeah,
Miguel, this is a weird debate. Why do you have Kamala Harris and Melania Trump here? We just gonna talk. Hey, real quick, y'all girls want to do a line or something?
Real quick.
What up?
I like that. Real
Oh,
quick.
what up, Tiffany Trump? I didn't know you was here too. It's getting
Girl.
weird now,
Goodness.
girl. Hey, let's go take this to the atrium. You know what I mean?
Hey, real quick, we're running out of time here, man. Great show tonight, by the way. You guys have been on one, like Ken said. But anybody performing this weekend? Anybody got anything? Anybody got
Yeah,
anything?
Tuesday I'll be at Tin Roof. I have 2 shows
I
there.
thought so. That's
one
right.
at 8:30 and one at 10:30. Shout out to David Naboa for putting it all together. He'll be my feature too. So come on
Nice.
down to Tin Roof. I believe it's $10 a
Like
ticket.
featuring in his own show.
Yeah, you know, yeah, everybody here done wrote themselves a check
You
like
got
that.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, come
Nice,
on.
man.
Tin
Nice.
Roof on iDrive, man.
It's a good
8:30
room.
and 10:30.
Fun room.
Great room.
Yeah.
Mike, you anywhere this weekend, brother?
Yeah, I'm actually going to be at a not as prestigious a Tin Roof at the Orlando Icon Park. I'm going to be at Hammock Wine and Cheese over at Hammock Beach on the Palm Coast with Christy B Comedy, and our show starts at 8:00. A couple of great comedians on that show: Chris Ray, Doug Caney, Blake Butler is going to be doing a guest spot. Should be a fun time.
Nice, man. Mr. Ken Miller, you back in comedy this
No,
weekend,
no
sir?
comedy this weekend, man. I'm back on the road next weekend, though.
I'm
But
gonna
no
be
comedy
at
this
Ken's gonna
weekend.
be at Nina's house of oxtail and pigs doing the Chico stick lineup.
Real quick, I'm going to actually be performing this Saturday. I'm going to be at the Creative Arts Center in Lake Helen. I'll be there with Ray Reyes performing, man. Check out my Facebook page. You can find out where you can get tickets. Come through. It's a great venue. Mike's actually done it before.
Yeah, it's a beautiful little room.
Nice, man. So, on behalf of everybody from Real Last here on 104.1 Real Radio, I'm Mike. I'm Mike. I'm James Young with
You
Mike
wish.
Burley.
We can all
I do. I need the credit score. Miguel Colon Jr. and Ken Miller. Thank you guys so much for always supporting Real Last. Remember that we do this Monday through Thursday, 9 p.m. to 10. You guys have a great evening. God bless you and good night.